Hello and welcome back to DJCamel Reviews, and today I'm reviewing the 2020 film Extraction, which is on Netflix, starring Chris Hemsworth and directed by former stunt coordinator on the previous Avengers films, Sam Hargrave. And I usually don't talk about plots and the story on my reviews, basically because I forget to, but fortunately this film doesn't really have a plot. It's just a hour and 40 minutes action thriller. They do try and give Tyler Rake, Chris Hemsworth's character, some sort of, tragic backstory, which then links to how he has to rescue or extract this son of a drug lord in Dhaka in Bangladesh. So he has a connection because of his tragic backstory and blah blah blah. None of that stuff is done that well. Chris Hemsworth gives a decent performance, but there's only really one scene where Tyler Rake and the child that he has to save actually connect, and then they're separated for the last 20 minutes of the film, where there's hardly any dialogue. It's just action. However, with the director being a stunt coordinator, the action in this film is really good. Fortunately, in recent years, action cinema has been moving towards these longer takes with fewer cuts and wider angles, so you can actually tell what's going on, which is great. And mainly because of budget constraints, but also because it's just a great way to show a long action sequence. There's a chase scene in this film which is about 12 minutes long, and it's all done in one continuous shot. And with 1917 and this film and others, it's great to see that we can see action in action films rather than jump cuts around, like one continuous take like this review. And I thought that all the stunts and the car chases and the fights and the knife fights and the shootouts and explosions and all that stuff was done perfectly. The soundtrack wasn't that great, which is a shame because this is by Henry Jackman and Alex Belcher, who did a wonderful job on 21 Bridges last year. That's probably my favourite soundtrack last year, but this is a bit of a letdown. However, if you want to see a basically 90-minute action film with great stunts, a talented performer in the lead role doing most of his own stunts with, all sorts of stunts and action sequences going off, then you'd love this film. I love the action sequences in this film, but the story was decidedly lacking. The cinematography is pretty good, except as it's in India and Bangladesh, it's got this kind of orange filter on, like Mexico would obviously have a yellow filter on, because that's Hollywood and that's just what they do. But other than that, and the fact that the story is cookie cutter at best, this is a pretty decent thriller. It would be harsh to give this a rating because I'm basically just really excited to see what this director does with a bigger budget, perhaps, and an actual script. But Extraction is a wonderful debut film for this director, and I'm excited to see what he does next. And I'd be happy to see a sequel. So I think that's, for this sort of film, the highest praise that you can give. So yeah, I'd give Extraction a 7 out of 10, and I'd recommend it. And I'll hopefully see you again soon on DJCamel Reviews. Goodbye.